Hi guys, welcome to the session. I'm live now. Had to postpone because I was a little bit out. Session was supposed to start at 8, but I was stuck outside my house, so I'm starting at 8:30 now. So this is the link. I've sent you the link. Those of you who have taken slot 3 can join in, and we can discuss the paper. What you felt. I have given a caveat. मेरे को दो कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी व्यूज मिल रहे हैं फर्स्ट स्लॉट का और सेकंड स्लॉट का. According to me, the first slot, although देखो, the one thing, let me get right clear right at the start. I'm not very because I've not solved the paper. I cannot define the proportion of sitters and difficult questions, etc. And even DIRR, first slot supposedly the DIRR was very tough. The second slot the DIRR was normal. So there is a tendency, or there is a thought that the first slot there will be a downward number or downward impetus on the net scores at every percentile, and second slot it will be more or less similar to last year. So that would mean that if you scored 90-92 in the first slot, your score will, because the first slot was a tough paper. That's the feedback I'm getting based on the people I've talked to. But actual scientific analysis में तभी करके देखूंगा जब मैं slots का paper देखूंगा और तब तुमको बताऊंगा. So I'll need to solve the papers, and then I'll be able to tell you exactly. So maybe in a week's time I'll tell you exactly what the numbers are and how it goes. But my initial gut feels based on my discussion with people has been that slot 1 का जो score है वो scale up होगा, and slot 2 it's more or less this thing, and slot 3 ka I'm still waiting for feedback from people because people are still going back home, etc. So if anybody is taken slot 3 and is here, please join through this link so that you can give me we can have a discussion around that, and then based on that I'll pick up this thing, and I'll of course come up with a separate video for each of the slots tomorrow, maybe, or tomorrow day after, where we can talk about where we can actually do a more structured analysis. But one thing that is very clearly visible to me, which is very clearly visible to me over the last over the discussions during the day has been that the paper. I mean, people are talking about the cons being easy or the verbal being easy. In the first slot, the second slot, I heard a couple of people say that the paper was easy, the verbal was easy, or the cons was easy. So one key comment that came on the channel, which I like to, which actually gave me made a lot of sense to me, was if you are targeting to solve 10 questions, for those people who are targeting to solve 10 questions, 12 questions in either verbal or quants, for them the paper was easy because there were a lot of sitters there, which is typically what CAT is. But if you wanted to go beyond 16, 17 questions and you had a target to go score high in the paper, तो ये पेपर वो नहीं था जो तुम्हारा स्कोर उतना अलाउ करेगा बढ़ने के लिए. So that was one factor that is something that you should remember. And how did you find the Himanshu? You can join the chat also, the conversation, if you want to. You can just click on that link and join in, and I can take you in the studio for a discussion. But otherwise, for slot 3, otherwise, generally speaking, those set agar kiya ho, it's not a bad thought, because I think the best guys would have done 3 sets at max. So 2 sets, the DLR of the third slot will either be like the second slot or the first slot. If it's like the first slot, 8-9 attempts is great. If it's like the second slot, then maybe 10-11 attempts is where your 99 percentile would be. So whatever you do, 30-32, अगर slot अगर एक easy set था, if there was one easy set in the paper and three normal sets, if you could find one easy set in the paper, then typically the 99 percentile value ends up at around 30-32. Whereas if you have not found an easy set, like the slot 1 did not have an easy set, in DIL, the score will go south. The average score will go south. They'll go down to somewhere like 27, 28 for the 99 percentile. So that would be what DILR would be. And somebody who solved two sets like the Himanshu would typically do well. You would be you had a fair outcome in your in the DILR. Wobble का जो मैंने सुना है, I think the wobble of the third slot was similar to the first one. I'm just assuming that, and in case that was the case, तो wobble में थोड़ा सा downward pressure है towards a lower score. Last year 43-44 marks पे 99 percentile था wobble section में. तो इस साल maybe 40 to 42 के बीच में 99 percentile आएगा wobble section में, because of the fact that, and that is true for all slots, because the reading was not very difficult. CAT match में reading बहुत difficult आता भी नहीं है. What will make the wobble more difficult is what made the wobble more difficult was the quality of the questions, the quality of the options, and the closes of the options. So that is something that you need to factor. And I think there would be a 2-3 mark drop from last year's score in the wobble scores at the 99 percentile. And when 99 percentile drops a little on a section, then 99 percentile, 90 percentile, 95 percentile, all the levels which you want to check, they were all dropped by 3 marks. So last year का score sheet अगर उठा लो, उसको 3 marks नीचे ले जाओ, you would have your 99 percentile and the 95 percentile and the 90 percentile scores in the wobble ability section. So 40-42 is what I am estimating based on USA for wobble. DILR slot 1, I had a very strong sense that it will be 27-28 for 99 percentile, because 9 questions would be awesome in that. But slot 2 30-32 and slot 3 also 30-32 is two questions extra, 11 questions पे शायद हो गए in terms of the DILR 99 percentile. Quants mein, I'm hearing varied reports. I saw some of the questions which have been run across on different YouTube channels, and I'm getting the thought that maybe some of the questions were setters, but it was not something which was allowing you to actually solve 18, 19, 20 questions. जो easy paper का typical feature होता है. So while there was not much of a problem doing 8-9 questions in the paper, going all the way to 17, 18, 19 questions was difficult. So 13-14 questions pay around 99 percentile आना चाहिए. So my guess would be somewhere around 35 to 40 for the 99 percentile in the quant section. So if you add these three, 30 marks on wobble, or 40 marks on wobble, 30 marks on DILR, and 35-38 marks on 35-38 marks on quants. If you add these three, so what happens is you end up getting a. I'm just taking Ayushman on the chat. Yeah, you can speak. So I had estimated the first two slots ka numbers based on this, and the logic for this estimation is essentially that if you score 99 in each section, if you score 99 percentile in each section, overall you end up getting a 99.7. That's the basic framework of percentile calculation in the CAT. So on slot 2's analysis, based on what people told me, my 99 on each section was adding up to 112 to 114. And on slot 1's analysis, it was adding up to 106, 107, the raw score, of course. So accordingly, so there's a 5-6 mark drop between slot 1 to slot 2 to slot 1. So there might be a scale up of slot 1 scores. And accordingly, and typically the 99 percentile score is around 12 to 14% below the 99.7 percentile score. And the 97 percentile score is around 17 to 20%, 17 to 19% below the 99 percentile score. So 99 से 97 के बीच में 17 to 19% का dip होता है, and 97 to 95 के बीच में around 10-12% का dip होता है score wise. So that's the basis on which I have created this. So if you want to analyze slot 3, I'll need some inputs from your side. Ayushman, you want to speak?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, yes, you need to connect your devices. Yeah, what is your experience? I mean, a few questions I would like to ask you to start with. Of course, as I said, a full scientific analysis of the paper I'll only do once I finish seeing the papers myself. But based on my questions and the answers I want to get out of you people, I should be able to give you some input on slot three. So first of all, Ayushman, your first question to you is, and yes, I'm taking you also on online. You guys will keep yourself muted and you'll speak when I'm asking the question. So let's say let's go with DILR first. That's the most happening story this year. So first of all, first question: Did you find an easy set in the paper? Did you find an easy set in the paper? Yeah, it'll be just yes or no answers.
तो तार भैया भाभी आने देंगे कि नहीं तुम कल सुबह?
Ayushman, you can speak. Huh?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. I was saying that in the plot 3, DILR was like a bit tough, I think.
Yeah. First of all, just give me your just answer my questions first. Did you find an easy
Yeah,
set in the
hello.
paper? Anybody? Yes,
No,
Ayushman.
sir. Actually, when I came out, so like people were saying that that bar graph was easy, but I have read it twice. I remember, and like I was not able to figure out how to do it because there are multiple variables involved in that. And
Okay.
the second less toughest, which was games and tournaments. So like which I attempted around 4 questions in that. So,
Uh-huh.
but that also took a lot of time for me. Like
Okay.
took a lot of time.
Good
So
evening,
no.
sir.
Ayushman, what about you? Did you find anything easy?
So the doable set among the DILR was that the bar graph question, which was among the that mortality rate of a population of both male and female in 1980, which was they were tracking it till 2020. So that was doable. And one other question was that was question number one, the first set.
But it's qualified as an easy set. Doable
So
is
that
fine.
bar graph was the bar graph was the easier set in comparison to all of the other questions.
And in comparison to other questions, fine. But if you compare it to CAT 21, for example, CAT 21 में bar graph का sets था, which you must have seen.
Yes, sir. It's tougher than
Was
Cat
it that
21's
easy?
bar graph sets. Yes.
Was it that easy?
Yeah, but it's like it's time taking. It's not tougher. It's a bit lengthy if you compare to CAT to 2021 bar graph question.
Okay. 21 bar graph was a blitz solve. You could finish it in 5 minutes, 5, 6 minutes.
Yes, it was too easy.
This was doable but lengthy, right? So we'll not classify it as an easy set. We'll classify that one as a moderate because although it is easy on the logic front, it will take up your time. So you're not able to blitz it. The easy set is where you can get the 4 questions, 5 questions done in 6 minutes, flat, 7 minutes flat. तो वैसा तो कुछ नहीं था. That's first question. Second question is the tough ones. How tough were they? Do they compare to the tough sets of last year?
Uh, no, sir. Actually, in comparison to last year's tough set, sir, they were quite tough. This one because they were quite lengthy. Actually, for example, the number of COVID cases. There was a question on the number of COVID cases in 5 cities in which they were increasing day by day. So there was also constraint of there could be zero new cases, one new cases, two new cases, three new cases. Oh, okay, yeah. Up to that only three new cases maximum. So that question had too many that variable too many conditions like too many variations were there.
Okay.
So
So the feeling
that was
of the tough question was similar to the feeling of the. I mean, CAT 21 को अगर देखोगे तो I mean, see basically when you analyze the mock the actual CAT you think about okay what happened last year versus what happened this year, and then you say okay this is a factor which will drop. जैसे जैसे there's no easy set. Last year you had one easy set in every slot. So there's no easy set in this slot. There's a moderate set, but no easy set, no giveaways. So that will be a way down of the marks. It will drop the marks for everybody. So that's one reason. So if last year 30-32 was the estimate for 99 percentile, this factor that you could not find an easy set in the paper is a definite downer of that number. So my second question is the tough question. How tough were they? Last year के toughness वाले जैसे friend acquaintance वाला question था एक last year slot one में. So was it of that level or was it the javelin throw level, question level, the tough question? Where would you place it?
Yes, sir. So like last year also slot one I attempted the friends and acquaintance wala question. So
Yeah.
that was slightly on the easier side. So here, as Ayushman mentioned, that that COVID cases that was
Uh,
there. So it had a multiple of cases, like many possibilities was possible in that.
this was
And
more
similar,
difficult than last year.
yes, yes, true. And
So
one
that means
more similar set was there, which was uh, like it was like a kind of an algebraic thing, like arithmetic calculations was involved. Like there were two sections, and like CSC students and non-CSC students was there, and in that also they were getting grades. So it was a mix of set theory also in that.
okay.
So yeah, so I
So
was
this was
not able
also
to.
this was also difficult.
Yes, so that was difficult. This to the COVID one and this uh, set theory, and like set was little bit of part of it, but it was more of like a mixture of all the concepts in that. So it was more of an algebraic also. Like there were table was also getting formed. So
Ah.
like we need to tackle for that also. So yeah.
So we have moved from 2021 to 2022. Uh, in the DI part, in slot three at least, you had one really tough set in the last year, and this year there are two really tough sets. So according to me, this will again be a downer for the score. The third reason for the downer is when you have a test which is 4646. It is very openly visible. These questions come with an advertisement that is a tough question. So you pick this up only if you are really confident of solving. But when the questions are 5555, when the questions are 5555, the bar graph question and the COVID cases question and the section grades question will look the same. You will not have the advantage of seeing कि 6 question है तो इसको बाद में करेंगे because this is going to be a difficult one. So you're not going to have that advantage here. So that is again a reason for a downside on the scores. So I think there's enough reason for the DILR section may scores going down for the same percentile. So if last year 30-32 marks per 99 percentile tha, which is what it was if I look at it closely. So this year this would come down to maybe around 28 marks. 3-4 marks. एक दो दो question का तो drop हो गई. So 27-28 marks, maybe even 26-25-26 marks. I think around 8-9 attempts, 8-9 good attempts with maybe one error somewhere here or there is going to be really good. Is going to be sufficient to score a 97, 98, 99 percentile in this section. Right. So what is the number of attempts you guys did, Ayushman and Yash? Anybody else wants to join? You have the link. I've shared the link. You can join this. I'm sharing it again. तुम लोग अटेम्प्ट्स क्या थे? तुम लोग का पेपर कैसा गया? ये DLR section. तो हम लोग करेंगे वही. What we'll do is we'll find out the numbers for each of the sections, the 99 percentile number, and then we'll try to make sense of this on the chart that I had done for slot 1, slot 2. So how was the 99? What are the attempts? Yes, Ayushman, can you let me know?
Sir, I made 6 attempts. 4 was of the games and tournaments questions, and one was from that bar graph question which was there. So I was only able to do. I was not able to solve it fully of that.
Did you solve the CAT 21 paper? In
Yes,
your
sir. In fact, I attempted slot one last year also. Yes.
अच्छा उसमें कितना अटेम्प्ट हुआ था?
Last year I attempted around 9 questions.
Okay. So I think my judgment and this, and in your mocks, how many were you attempting in DLR?
Uh, it was actually very fluctuating depending on the paper. Like maximum it used to go to 12, 13 out of 20 questions, and it used to be stay around 5 or 7, maybe in that range also it has stayed. So it was
Acha.
very dicey on that part.
Okay, depending on how the paper went and
Yes.
how you reacted inside the paper. What about you, Ayushman? कितने अटेम्प्ट हुए हैं तुम्हारे और कितने होते थे नॉर्मल? How many attempts have you done and how many were you doing normally?
Sir, I have attempted 14 in VRC, 8 in this DILR, and 4 in quants.
And what was it? Like, we are talking only about DLR now. What was the normal attempts in your mocks?
Sir, 15 questions, like 3 sets or 2 sets at max.
अच्छा 2 सेट हो जाते थे तुमको पहले.
Okay, yes, sir. If I review that 2021 CAT paper, if I was doing that 2021 CAT paper also before going to the exam, I could solve all the sets, like three at max 3 sets I could solve. Both
Inside the time.
slot one, yes, sir. Both slot one, slot two, and slot three papers.
So that means that, I mean, this kind of confirms that, of course, more data points will emerge, the more number of people we talk to. But this kind of confirms that, given the fact that we're good at DILR, because you could solve. So this kind of confirms the drop for me, right? Unless somebody comes up and says कि नहीं नहीं वो तो बहुत easy था तुम लोग कुछ देखे नहीं, which I doubt is going to happen. So in that fourth set कौन सा था? What was the fourth set? एक बार ग्राफ हो गया, कोविड केसेस हो गए, सेक्शन एंड ब्रेक्स हो गए, और फोर्थ सेट
Games and tournaments का था.
अच्छा गेम्स एंड टूर्नामेंट्स का क्या था? व्हाट वाज द इट वाज हॉकी फुटबॉल टूर्नामेंट काइंड ऑफ?
No, actually, it was like the game was not mentioned, but it was like 4 people are there. 2 will get paired in each of the rounds, and there were 10 rounds.
अच्छा
On yeah, and each round there were like what do we say? Some they are basically batting with each other, like 1 rupee, 2 rupee, or of that
अच्छा.
sort. So for every 10 round, we need to calculate all what might be their money at the end of the round. So it was like lengthier also.
One way to decide whether a cert, I mean, once you, in hindsight, when you're looking at it, one way to decide whether it was easy or tough, also to try to see how much obeying instructions was happening in the exam. कि instructions obey कर लिए तो answer आ गया, versus how much self-generated thinking you have to do, self-thought you have to generate. So I think based on what you guys are telling me, these 3 sets are a lot of self-generated thinking. Am I correct? You had a clue and then you had to generate the thought around that clue कि क्या करना है इस clue से. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Like depending on the cases which were getting found, like it was very much, it was not straightforward. That's for sure.
So given that, there's a definite dip in the DILR 99 percentile range, right? Or let me just check if I've got the numbers on my phone readily. Okay, so last year number जो था ना 99 percentile was at 32-33 marks, and 97 percentile was at 29 marks, 95 percentile was around 24 marks, and 90 percentile was at 20 marks. So you can expect a 3 to 4 mark drop on each of these numbers. So 32-33 पे अगर 99 है तो 28-29 पे 99 इस टाइम आएगा. 97 अगर 29 है तो 25 पे 97 आएगा. 24 and 20 पे 90 percentile है last year का, तो I think 16 marks, 15-16 marks पे somebody solved one set correctly completely, all correct, so he would get a 90 percentile in the paper. That's my gut feel based on my discussion here. Verbal, what is the feeling? Verbal and RC? The first 2 slots से जो feedback आया है, the feedback has been that that the passages were not so difficult to read, but the questions were very twisted, and there were double twists inside the question. There were double negatives inside the question. Was that something that you guys also experienced? Yeah, tell me. In the verbal VRC section, I think VRC and quants is more or less standardized in CAT nowadays across chapters. This thing it's easy to standardize VRC and CAT and quants. So yeah, tell me, Ashwin.
Yes, sir. The VRC was, sir, comparatively it was okay, sir. I mean, what was coming in the mocks, it was at that level only, the VRC. The parajumbles and at the reading comprehension, they were almost the same level, and the summary was also all right, sir. It was all right. But sir, quants and this DILR, it grinded us in the examination like anything.
तो VRC स्टैंडर्ड है मतलब similar to last year है more or less
जी सर,
है ना
जी
Kaustubh
सर,
is
जी
also
सर.
taking Kaustubh on the screen on the studio so VRC में एक factor है which is pulling the score down from last year that's the inferential part that there was a lot of inferential questions वैसे last year भी inferentially थे questions so it would be maybe similar or maybe a small step down from last year's scores. So you can expect somewhere in the 40-42 range, I would think, for the 99 percentile here, because there will be enough people. In every slot, there will be 10% people, 1% people who will be able to score 15 correct questions in VRC easily. Specifically, the verbal report is that it was on the easier side. So if there is a pull down of the score based on the fact that the questions were very twisted and the options were close, there's a pull up of the score based on the fact that verbal was on the easier side. So and specifically the new question type that has been introduced, the paragraph completion question type, that was also easy. It was not very difficult to identify what the correct answer was. So that is pulling up the score if the inferential part is pulling down. So all said and done, I think the verbal section was the percentile remain more or less the same as last year. So if you अगर कुछ गिरेगा तो 2 मार्क गिरेगा maybe. तो last year का जो numbers मेरे पास है 99 percentile around 43 to 45 marks पे आया था. I'm talking about raw scores, huh? Raw scores इतने पे आया था. And 97 percentile was at 38 marks. And 95 percentile was at 34 marks. And 90 percentile was at 28 marks. So this was the range. So I would expect the range to be more or less this. अगर कुछ change होगा इसमें verbal में तो there might be a 1 mark drop, and this is 1 to 2 mark drop overall max. अगर drop होगा तो बढ़ने का chances नहीं दिख रहा है मेरे को, and this is true for slot 1, slot 2, and slot 3 because the paper was pretty standardized across slots. It was not easier to score in one slot versus another slot. So more or less standardized paper hai. So this would be my guesstimate here. So if I'm putting a 43 mark for verbal 99 percentile and I'm putting a 28 mark for DILR 99 percentile, I need to fill one more number, the quants 99 percentile. And once these three numbers get added, verbal, DILR, and quants, once these three numbers get added, you get a score, you get a total score, which will represent the 99.7 percentile value. Because this is a factor in the CAT always, that if you score 99 percentile in each section, then overall you will get a 99.7 99.7. You'll not be at 99 percentile overall if you have scored. Hi Vishesh, welcome to this session. So if you scored 99 percentile in each section, you'll end up getting a 99.7 overall. So, so this is what I would predict here. This thing. So the quants numbers we have to now work on discussing. So okay. So how many sitters did you find? Sitters are kind of questions that you come across in a CAT scenario like CAT 2017 kind of exam had 12, 13 sitters out of 34. These questions were instruction-based questions. You obeyed the instructions and you did 2 or 3 steps. You got the question answered. So did you find questions like that? I'm talking specifically about slot 3 here.
Sir, in function, there was one question. Actually, they defined a function, and based on that, they asked a question, and they said that at which value of r this this function will not exist. So I think,
So was it a self-generated thinking kind of question or an obeying instruction question?
sir, I think it's a obeying instruction kind of question, because you have to just define that function, and you just have to see what is the value of what that will not satisfy this function. So
Okay. So how many obeying instruction questions did you come across? Arithmetic, were there lots of obeying instructions questions? Instruction
no,
obeying.
no, sir. Actually, arithmetic, I think there were some self-generational thought type of questions. So
You did the thought based on what was based on the situation presented, right?
yes, sir.
So again, so that is something which is saying because बहुत लोग I saw a few YouTube broadcasts of some teachers here and there, and I found a lot of crap going around. Specifically, कुछ भी बोल रहे हैं कि बहुत easy था paper और ये था वो था. तो I think there has to be some scientific basis on what you are saying. If I talk to 4 people, somebody will tell me, जैसे मेरे को एक स्टूडेंट ने बोला बहुत easy paper था, मैंने बोला कितना सॉल्व किया, तो बोला 25 सॉल्व किया. तो बोले easy paper था तो 25 क्यों सॉल्व किया? I mean, and so that I'm not going to take that person's feedback very seriously. उसको feedback को लेके मैं immediately first to the market होने के लिए I rush to my YouTube channel and say कि बहुत easy paper था and here I'm this thing. So we don't believe in that. We at Mindworkzz and at with my name I try to associate some quality. And I that's why I told right at the start, because I have not seen the paper, so I cannot make a complete judgment. So my judgment is based on the feedback I'm getting from people and my perception of how much I can trust that feedback. So if arithmetic, I think arithmetic dominant था, 10 से 12 question थे arithmetic में as usual, right?
Sir, I think the questions from percentages, ratio and proportion, I think they were a little bit less.
Okay.
As
More on
compared
time
to other.
distance, more on application of arithmetic, right? Interest
Yes.
and
Interest, there was one question in interest which was quite easy, simple interest. It was just like following the orders. I mean, just following the the question only, like what is given in the question.
a
So
typical
ratio.
a normal CAD paper has this feature. I'll just explain this through a box. If I pick up a box of 5 questions and I define this mark as a normal question, I define this mark as an easy question, and I define this mark as a tough question. So in a normal CAD paper, you would have maybe 2 of these, 1 to 2 of this, and 2 to 1 of this. This is a normal CAD paper. In 5 questions, you'll get a couple of sitters. But if you just obey instructions, you'll be done. Right? In a easy CAD paper, you'll get 3 to 4 of these. And you'll get maybe 1 to 2 of these 2 combined. In a difficult CAD paper, you might just get 1 of this. You might get 2 of this and 2 of that. So you'll find sitters in all 3. Even in a difficult CAD paper, you'll still find sitters. You'll find 1 sitter in every 5 questions. Here you're finding 3 sitters in every 5 questions.
Sir, as much Sir, as much as I attempted the questions, I know that there was only one sitter. I mean that is of interest only, simple interest only. There was a question. It was just a sitter question. You just had to follow the instruction, and you would have gotten the answer.
Okay.
And the level of easy and difficulty, sir, it is relative from person to person. But one thing is for sure is that the quants paper was lengthy, sir.
Right. So that so with respect to CAT 21 papers, would you put it down below that or equal or above?
No, sir, below that. According to me, it will be below that because 2022's quant section was a bit tougher than 2021.
Okay, 21 was easier. 22 is
Yes, sir.
tougher. That and then the fact that you're telling me that you're only having once written and 5 questions on average. So this
Uh,
is indicative of the fact that, of course, I'll need more collaboration for more people. So from more people, but that is something which is pulling down my estimate of the scores here. So if I look at the QA, last year the 99 percentile was at 34 marks, and 97 percentile was at 28 marks. So the 99 percentile, the QA section last year. Let me just put this down in black pen. QA section में last year the 99% was at 34 marks. The 97 was at 28. This is the sheet that I've got, which where we caught hold of a few data points from different mark sheets. The 95% level was 24 and the 90% level was 18. So best case scenario, you will still have it at 34. Right? And there is a downward pressure on this because of the fact that you had lengthier questions. Even in slot 2, I heard that there were a lot of lengthy questions. It was not standard questions and not just obeying instructions. So there's a downward pressure definitely on the quants section. And you know, a lot of people will come and tell you what asan paper tha, etc. ये तो simple questions था, वो simple question था. But you have to understand the proportion. How often was it coming before you can make a clear judgment about it, right? किसी को 5 questions solve करना है. If somebody is only solving 5 questions in this paper, उसको तो ये भी चलेगा. ये question खोजता रहे तो 4 question तो उसके कैसे मिल जाएंगे? और एक moderate question कर ले तो 5 question उसका हो जाएगा. But the problem is somebody trying to solve 16, 17, the paper is not allowing you to do 16, 17 questions. Because every second question is coming from here, from the tough ones. So that is where the difficulty level is actually gauged. So if I put this down to around 35 also, even if I put this as 34, I don't know. I mean, I'm putting my neck out here. I'm saying that this represents to me a drop in the 99.7 percentile of around 6-7 marks, and I got similar feedback from slot 1. So if this is true, your 99 percentile score is going to drop down to early 90s. It will be more in the range of 90 to 95 rather than 95 to 99. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I mean, more data will emerge as I see the paper, because वो देखने के बाद मेरे को तो clearly समझ में आ जाता है. I can even make out कि when I'm doing a question, if there are 4 steps in the question, I can make out that these 2 are obeying instructions and simple instructions थे, दोनों को obey करने के, difficult instructions थे. तो वो मैं तुम लोगों को I'll do analysis of the paper and the slots once the paper is out, and maybe I'll solve the whole paper this time for all of you. So that you can have a look at how you should solve, how you should tackle the paper. But whatever, I mean, if the score comes down to early 90s from 98, 99, which was the 99 percentile last year, so definitely good news for everybody. Let's just hope that I'm right.
Sir, I just sir, from quant's question, sir, I just remembered one question from speed, time, and distance. So if you will listen to that question, maybe you can make out. So how was the quant section this time? So the question was like this. There was a port. So and 2 ships were approaching to that port, and they made a equilateral triangle with that with the port. So there is a port and there are two distinct points of two ships. So they made an equilateral triangle with that port, and after traveling some time, so the slower ship, after traveling some time, like for the slower ship speed was 60 kilometer per hour. So after traveling some time, then the slow ship made a right angle triangle with the faster ship. So based upon that, they were asking how far the faster ship had traveled in that period of time. So the question was somewhat like this.
Okay, so this is the figure that's happening. Ship
Yeah,
1 is
the,
ship 2 is here. I'm assuming ship 1 is a slow speed. So what will happen is ship 1 comes inside, but ship 2 being faster will go more inside. So if it's forming a right angle triangle now, that means this is a right angle triangle. So this is not an easy question. I'll not rate this as an easy question. ये solve कैसे होगा?
there were other data also, like the speed and the speed of the slower ship was only given, and yeah, I think just write about that. So so this is the question I hazily remember. So
So
based
this
on
is
that,
30-60-90 triangle.
sir.
This is 30-60-90 triangle. So this now this is where the self-generated thinking starts. And 30-60-90 triangle, if this is 1, this is root, this is root 3, and this is 2.
Also, the distance between those port and the ship while they were forming the equilateral triangle, that distance was also given, which I don't remember exactly.
तो डिस्टेंस अगर दिया हुआ है कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन मिसिंग है ऑब्वियसली, बट ये इन्फॉर्मेशन यूज हो जाएगा इसमें कि ये डिस्टेंस जो बचा था, ठीक है ना, तो ये शिप इतना जितना भी आया वो शिप उसके डबल गया, मतलब given the fact that ये जो डिस्टेंस बच रहा है, this distance is double this distance because this is a 30-60-90 triangle. So it's a mix of time split distance and geometry. And also, even after that, it's not just obeying instructions, there's a lot of self-generated thought inside this. So I will rate this as a complex question. It's definitely a complex question. Right, so Shakshi is saying that your computer stopped working during DLR section for 10 minutes and you messed up this thing. Yeah, it is really unfair that something like this happened and they didn't give you time for it. It's this thing. I think you can file a complaint at least to try to help them recover or do something like this. So we need to know the distance also before we solve this. So anyway, this we are looking at I'll do a solving of the question because unless I have complete text and data with me, misreported हो जाता है कभी-कभी because when you are partially remembering a question and telling me. So I would prefer to solve these questions for you when the paper is ready, when the paper is available. Not before that. लेकिन this is giving me a self-generated thought का feed. Right? So slot 1. Okay, so let me just share my thoughts now. Based on what I made out from my discussion in the first this thing. So let's not get into questions and technicalities of questions because I'm not really equipped to solve them at this point, and not in that frame of mind. Also, it's been a long day for me. So I promise you guys, I'll do the questions of all the slots for you, including the DIR. Once the papers are released, I'll solve everything for you and show you what it was all about. So my only concern is my discussion with slot 2 people. Because slot 1 people के साथ जो मेरा discussion हुआ था, उसमें मेरा 106 107 निकल के आ रहा था, 99 percentile, 99.7 percentile, which is a drop. Last year 113 पे 99.7 percentile था, so it's a drop, clearly a drop of 6-7 marks on this, which means that the 99 percentile score will end up going down by around 5-6 marks. So you can expect low 90s, starting 90s to be the numbers, to be the values at which you will get 99 percentile, right? So CAT 23 aspirants, that's a good question. CAT 23 aspirants should not use the CAT 17 to 22 papers in your preparations from now to June July. June July के बाद last 4-5 months में बहुत pressures हो जाएंगे questions. So don't use these questions for your practice. They are very good practice questions, but you should desist from using them as practice, because होता क्या when you prepare, during your preparation you need to know that information is very important. Are you doing well from the CAT perspective? So finding that out, knowing that is going to be very important. So if you're preparing for CAT 23, don't use these papers. You can look at the papers a little bit, but don't solve the papers completely. Wait for June, July, August. And I'll also tell this in my YouTube broadcast when I do the questions for you. कि अभी अगर तुम CAT 23 के लिए prepare करो तो इन solutions को मत देखना. So anyway, this is what it was. So 76 marks पे who was asking? Okay, so there's another this thing from Vishesh. DILR extremely tough. So this is confirmation of the DILR drop in slot 3. QA 10 to 20% more difficult as compared to last year. So again a drop. This thing. Ansh, what is the question? So, okay, now those of you who have not done well in CAT this year, my first advice to you is immediately register for the ZAT. I see a lot of people here being of the opinion that ZAT bhi dena, CAT hi dena, IMEB jana, etc. But don't fall into that trap. I mean, I remember when I was giving my CAT, the order of institutes was Ahmedabad, Calcutta, XLRI, and then I'm Bangalore. So as far as you hit any of the top colleges, your college will give you the framework. And XLRI is definitely a top college. So, and I've seen so many times that somebody does not do well in CAT and recovers back in ZAT and makes it big in the ZAT. So just focus on the ZAT. I'll come up with some advisory about the ZAT. That's one thing. Or based on this thing, I mean, this is the slot 2 का जो मेरे को feedback मिला था on the people who came on the chat, उसमें मेरे ये numbers निकला था, and I'm transparent about the numbers. So ये वाला number अगर drop करेगा तो सब number drop करेंगे. But if you look at slot 1 and slot 3, the analysis is coming down to 105, 106. In fact, in some thoughts, this 106, 107 even coming out to 102, 103. But चलो उतना नीचे शायद नहीं जाएगा. I feel unsafe predicting that number. But 106, 107, 108 maybe will be a 99.7 percentile, which means there's a 5 mark drop right across. Which means that at 76 marks you can expect a 97 percentile about in this paper. Is Mindworkzz providing any SAT specific? Yeah, we would have a SAT course, but we'll be focusing mostly on decision making in that. Yeah, Ansh, why not XLRA? Take the SAT exam also. First, focus on that also. और BB IIMs में जाओगे तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है वहाँ से. I mean, those IIMs will also gain in this thing. I mean, I remember 1970s में मतलब I was giving the Bangalore story, Bangalore being rated below XLRA. 1970s में जब Bangalore start हुआ था 1973 में, तो nobody wanted to go to Bangalore because Ahmedabad and Calcutta were the old IIMs and Bangalore was a new IIM. Now somebody who went to IIM Bangalore in 75 to 77, let's say. So this is in respect of those of you who were aiming for a 99 and getting a 93 percentile, 95 percentile, and you are in that state. You will have to take that call. Do you want to continue with your career pre-MBA? Want to continue what you're doing and then go for an MBA only when you get to those colleges, or you are going to take that leap now and move on. So वो एक thought तुम लोग करना पड़ेगा. One said 85 percentile हो सकता है हो जाए. Let me just check the numbers again. DLR, no? One said last year 17 marks पे 85 percentile था. So one said 15 marks should. I mean, you'll be on the borderline, but you can expect to be about 85 percentile with one set solved. So what I was saying was somebody who joined IIM Bangalore in 95, 75, 77 against advice from people कि तुम अहमदाबाद Calcutta जाना चाहिए, against his own thoughts कि अहमदाबाद Calcutta जाना चाहिए था. So he would have been, let's say, 23 years old at that point, he or she, and passed out at 25, and their career would have started in 1977 and continued till 2010-15. By which time, within first 10 years of their career continuing, because of the students doing well and because of the institute growing, their the stigma attached with passing out of Bangalore. I mean, you cannot even imagine there was a stigma attached to passing out of Bangalore at that time because it was not Ahmedabad or Calcutta. And Ahmedabad and Calcutta were the old AIMs. This one was the new one. And of course, Bangalore also benefited from the IT boom in Karnataka and Bangalore. So IMB also benefited from that. But you have to understand that your institute will have life cycles. So as far as you're hedging your bets with an institute which has a high or which has a strong life cycle and is going to go in the right direction, you can take that call. And ultimately in your career, 3 to 5 years after your IIM, nobody look at which IIM you came from. Nobody's going to look at it. So don't get despondent about it. Pick up the pieces and live your life and do well from this point. So I hope this was helpful to all of you, and I've been able to answer most of your questions. Yeah, give it your best shot. देखो रिजल्ट के साथ तो डील करना पड़ता है. हर टाइम जिंदगी में रिजल्ट अच्छा नहीं होता है और हर टाइम खराब भी नहीं होता है. So if you had, I mean, thinking philosophically, if there had to be one failure for you on a critical day and this is out of the way, your luck will pay out the next time, right? So give it your best shot. I mean, what is in our control is to focus on the process and do the process well. So you should just focus on doing that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Do subscribe to the channel. Quant cutoff, I told you, no? QA, by cutoff, you mean the 85 percentile? And you'll be surprised, last year 14 marks पे 85 percentile था quants में. तो इस साल बहुत ऊपर नहीं जाएगा उससे. 5-6 क्वेश्चन सही कर लिए तो 85 percentile आ जाएगा. और 99 percentile 34 marks पे था last year, 11-12 questions पे. So you should be able to get, if around 30-32 marks, I would estimate the 99 percentile based on what you guys are telling me. Colleges to apply, मेरे off the cuff में मेरे को याद नहीं रहता colleges etc. We'll do some sessions on colleges and discussion about colleges separately, right? But generally you can 98, 99 you can apply to NDI, you can apply to IMT Ghaziabad, of course. You can apply to, I mean, of course, the baby IIMs and new IIMs are there. Then you can apply to the IITs. So give it a make a long list of colleges. Apply to at least 20-30 colleges like that. You'll get a lot of calls. 98-99% level, you'll get a lot of calls. 10 marks in QA, थोड़ा सा challenging है. If you're getting 10 marks in QA, you might be in the 80-85 percentile range. So जिस institute में 80 percentile का cutoff है, वहाँ पे you will this thing. I think response sheets will take a week's time. They release it during a week, within a week of the paper, so you should be able to find it there. You'll get that message from the AMS. कभी कभी 2-3 दिन में भी निकाल देता है. So जैसे ही वो आता है response sheets, तो मैं paper देख के I'll come back and do my scientific analysis on it. Right, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, तीनों का. So you can wait for that to come on the channel. ठीक है सर, my scientific analysis consists of one was the proportion of difficult questions and easy questions. The second part what you look at is DILR में कितने step के questions, were they 12-step questions, 15-step questions, or 8-step questions. So and were they obeying instructions, were they self-generated thinking questions, steps. So ये सबसे you get a fair idea of what it was, because you can compare these things against last year's paper, and then you can definitely decide that the score is coming down or going up. Okay, which is why my scientific analysis is all normally I give a very strong range for that. So इस साल भी मेरे को हंस लग रहा है जब बोल रहा हूँ मैं सही है. Slot 2 का मेरे को थोड़ा सा मतलब discussion के basis पे I'm uncomfortable thinking about ऐसा कैसे हुआ. Maybe I've got wrong information from the wrong set of people. There, in the sense that one of the person who was talking to me in slot 2, and wrong set of people का मतलब ये नहीं कि गलत बताया मैंने. But he was in IIM Visakhapatnam already and studying second year. So if you're in second year of IIM Visakhapatnam, you have really learned data interpretation, reasoning, and all those things there, because all your case studies, etc., help you improve your analysis. So he was saying, मेरे को CAT 20 में जैसा दिखा था, उसे easy लगा मेरे को paper. So maybe my analysis was clouded by that fact that he was one of the 3 people I talked to. Because of course, then I finally asked him during the discussion, was the paper easy or was your level higher now? So that he couldn't tell me because he had not checked the paper with his current level. ठीक है, slot 1 मेरे हिसाब से तो tough है, काफी tough है. I will not be surprised if early 90s में 99% आएगा, which is a huge drop. 5-7 marks a drop for 99% is huge. ठीक है, चलो, thanks Ayushman, thanks for joining, and bye bye everybody. God bless. Have a good night's sleep and just relax, watch some movies. थोड़ा अपने आप को de-stress करो. You guys have been in a lot of stress. A lot of you have worked very hard. So you should take pride in the journey, not in the results. Results आएगा नहीं आएगा वो तुम्हारे हाथ में है.
So I'll be watching now, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
So I'll be watching the World Cup right now, sir.
You're?
So I'll be watching the World Cup right now, sir.
Yeah, wake up. Watch the World Cup. Good matches coming up. Right? The Spain-Germany match should be very interesting. Especially given is literally उनका DI खराब हो गया, पहला points में उनको recover करना है. They are in that situation. Right?
Yes, sir.
So there will be a really interesting. Everybody will be giving blood for it. So enjoy it. Right?
Thank you,
So,
sir.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Good night, sir.
Good night, everybody. Bye bye. See you. Yes, please give that. Sejal, please give that. Everybody, big message. Always give that. Please give that. It's a big exam. And that is a must take. I mean, if you're preparing for CAT, you have to give that. There's no second. I mean, you can question me ki IFT do ki nahi. You can question me. I can accept that question. Snap do ki nahi. And nursing only do ki nahi. You can accept. You can expect. You can ask me those questions. But ये question बनता ही नहीं कि that देना है कि नहीं. It is a no-brainer. You should give that. ठीक है. चलो. Bye bye everybody. See you. हाँ तो 18 days बहुत है प्रिपरेशन के लिए. फाइनल पेपर है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. तुम स्टार्ट कर दो प्रिपरेशन. मेन प्रिपरेशन तुमको वोबल के कुछ नया प्रिपरेशन नहीं करना है, सिर्फ उसके पास्ट ईयर पेपर सॉल्व करने हैं. क्वांट्स के लिए कुछ नहीं करना है, उसके पास्ट ईयर पेपर सॉल्व करने हैं, रिवाइज कर लेना है. सिर्फ डीएम करना है. डीएम 10 दिन का प्रिपरेशन होता है. Right? I'll come up with the strategy session for that. Very easy exam to qualify. ठीक है. चलो. Bye bye. So it will depend on your score. 20 questions solved. If you get the score around 35-40, you might be getting somewhere in the 70% range. That's for you can't break me. Chalo. Bye bye finally. Bye.